If you're interested in it, Brian's talking about it. You're with Brian Kilmeade.
And the Oscar goes to No Other Land.
About 2 months ago, I became a father, and my hope to my daughter that she will not have to live the same life I'm living now, always fearing settlers' violence, home demolitions, and forest spill displacements that my community, Masafri Yatta, is living and facing every day under the Israeli occupation. No other land reflects the harsh reality that we have been enduring for decades and still persist as we call on the world to take serious actions to stop the injustice and to stop the ethnic cleansing of Palestinian people.
So that is No Other Land. That won Best Documentary yesterday was Palestinian and Israeli, talking about getting along. And, of course, that's a real fair and balanced look. I feel bad for his daughter. Probably is a hellacious upbringing. Why are you letting Hamas run your region? Why are you letting them, why are you supporting and possibly cheering as a parent and maybe a documentarian, high-fiving after the October 7th attacks? Guess why they were in Gaza? There's only one reason to be in Gaza, because you went out and massacred, you captured almost 200 people, over 200 people, and then you massacred over 1,000 others, and you don't expect to get any retribution? So I don't know if the Hollywood crowd loves that statement, but I just don't get it, because there's so many Jewish Americans in California who are extremely powerful and popular, but they seem to go silent. With me right now is Jeff Lax, CUNY law professor at Kingsborough Community College and founder of SAFE, S-A-F-E, it's an acronym campus, which advocates for Zionist Jews discriminated against and excluded on college campuses. Jeff, first off, your reaction to that win.
Well, the win itself is disgusting, too. I thought you were going in a different direction. The win itself is disgusting because the movie is full of propaganda and lies. It rewrites history of 1948. What they don't say, they talk about the quote-unquote Nakba, the expelling of the Palestinians from the land of Israel. But the truth is that the Palestinians left because they were helping the other Arab countries attack Israel. They left on purpose to assist in what was to be the destruction of the Jews in Israel. That was what happened in 1948.
Didn't they reject the whole agreement?
Yeah.
And they left. And they said they want all of it.
That's right.
But were there Palestinian even people? Was there such thing as Palestinians?
No, there isn't. It's not something that I personally talk about a lot because that's not my background. But, there really is no historical Palestinian people. They were really part of Jordan for many, many years. And then after
what happened
67,
there?
And they attacked Israel like all the other countries.
And they got kicked out of Jordan.
And they got kicked. Their ass got kicked. Yeah. And Israel took over those lands.
And Jordan says, we don't want you here. And then Egypt said the same thing, right?
Yes.
They wreak havoc.
Nobody wants them. None of the Arab countries will take the Palestinians.
But they want to blame Israel for not taking them when they have shown time and time again they don't want to live next to Israel.
And I just came back from Israel, Brian. To call it ethnic cleansing is so disgusting. I had so many amazing relationships with Arab and Muslim people while I was there. Try to find a Jew in Palestine. Tell me if you can find a Jew there. If there's a Jew
in Gaza or West Bank.
Yeah. If a Jew missteps and gets in there, they'll be killed.
Right. So let's talk about what's happening with our schools in the system. You got a win, didn't you, at City College?
Yes, we did. We got two big wins over the last couple of weeks. One of them was Governor Hochul telling CUNY to take down an ad for what was an anti-Semitic course that, to be clear, the Board of Trustees, the highest level of CUNY, Bill Thompson, I really want to name his name, voted to pass. And the curriculum basically called Israel a settler colonial state, apartheid, and genocidal. And she did. I've been very critical of her. And you mentioned on Friday on Fox and Friends that part of this is that Richie Torres is coming for her job, going to primary her, and he's
a Bronx, because national. He's a Bronx lawmaker.
Right, national.
Democrat.
Okay. Yes, but very charismatic. Very far left, but very strong, ironically, on Israel and the Jewish issues. In
a huge rally 2 weeks ago, he was one of the keynote speakers for the Jewish. By the way, everyone should be. If I found out Muslims were being beat up across in New York for being Muslim, I'd be just as outraged.
100%.
What's going on?
100%.
There's nothing to do with white people, black people. Just all of a sudden, Israelis are being beat up. Or how about this? What's your take on what happened at Barnard College last week?
Yeah, and I just want to say, by the way, to piggyback on your point, most of my students are Palestinian. I've been teaching for over 20 years at CUNY. I've never had an issue. I get along great with them. I support them. And I do think that Palestinians are victims in Gaza. You know why? Hamas.
Or the Palestinian Authority, who's stealing money from them.
That's right.
And Yasser Arafat's one of the richest people in the world with all Western money. So, and he died, and I guess his widow has it. But what happened at Barnard? Again, we thought we were past this. They stormed into a school, took over a building,
right,
and they beat up one of the security officials,
right,
all because two anti-Israel students or intruder students were burst into a classroom and were tossed out of the school for doing that and disrupting and screaming anti-Semitic phrases.
Right, and the administration, as usually, capitulates to these goons, and unbelievable to me and sick that they want to meet with them. You don't meet with people like this. It is sickening.
But and the whole thing is, too, I think this has got to come from Trump. He does not mind getting involved with congestion pricing. He's got to get involved with this anti-Semitic action that's happening on campus. This is not going away. Now you got Jamal Bowman, a congressman, Jeff Lax, who's launching a super PAC to defeat pro-Israel politicians from Yonkers to Gaza.
And this goes in line with what you guys were reporting on Friday about the Democratic Party being more anti-Israel than ever, and you're seeing it here. Terrible. But I was mentioning to you right before we went on today that Leo Terrell now is starting an anti-Semitism task force. So to answer your question about Trump, and they're going after 10 colleges. I want him to add an 11th, CUNY, mine. But right now, they're doing a great job. I can't wait to see what they do.
Yeah, and we just want people to be treated equally because of your religion. Are we still at this point in this country you don't understand? There's going to be ramifications if you crack down on somebody for their religion. This Joanne Arioli was on Fox and Friends first. On the two Democrat New York lawmakers proposing jail time for protesters waving any terrorist flag like Hamas or Hezbollah. Listen.
We've already criminalized burning crosses, swastikas, and nooses. Why not this new wave of how to threaten and terrorize people who are of a certain religion or a certain ethnicity? It makes sense. I hope that it does make it out of committee and onto the floor, and I hope that the governor signs it. I'm willing to put in a supporting resolution for it.
What do you think?
I think you got to be careful. I'm a lawyer.
Two Democratic lawmakers.
Yeah, I'm a lawyer, so I always worry about how these things are drafted because well-meaning legislation often gets thrown out in the courts because it's not drafted well. We've seen this many times with anti-BDS laws. Some of them are well-written, some of them are not. And that makes all the difference. So I worry about legislation like this. I support it in spirit, but you got to be careful about free speech because, for example, I know a lot of people who fly American flags next to Israeli flags. And, there's a rule in the United States, you can't fly a foreign flag unless it's below the American flag. So got to be careful about that. But I agree with it in spirit that you don't want, obviously, violence coming out of this. The mask thing has to happen. You can't allow
the banning
people,
the mask.
The banning that has to happen.
So Governor Hochul was direct and gave you some hope when she banned Palestinian studies instructor to teach courses steeped in anti-Semitism. She banned those courses. Did that please you at Hunter College?
Yeah, she didn't ban the courses. I don't think she has the authority to ban courses. She banned the ad to teach the course. So now there's a lot of backlash. After your show, by the way, I got contacted by a lot of people telling me these courses are still going to happen. And actually, there might be more courses. Yeah, there might be more courses like this because even though she got rid of the ad, they may still find someone else to teach it without that language that was in the ad. So the school itself has to take action because Hochul only has so much authority. There is a theory, there is a concept of academic freedom. And faculty offer the courses. I don't think she has the authority to ban the course, or at least it's arguable. She banned the ad that taught the course. We hope the course goes away, but that's really up to the school.
The department chairperson served on the campus curriculum for 16 years. I tell you, there's no curriculum ever gets approved until the university or a board of trustee voted to affirm it. And Thompson and the board of trustees voted to approve those courses. So you're saying that they're going to go on as scheduled, which is crazy. But I would add this. As long as the governor spends money funding the city college, they do have a little bit of leverage. I could just say, listen, until you straighten this out and get rid of these hate classes, you're not going to get your money from the state. And, of course, they're going to sue back. But that begins to bring more attention on courses that they don't want a lot of attention on.
Not only that, the governor controls the Board of Trustees. She nominates the members of the Board of Trustees, and they hire the chancellor. They could get rid of the chancellor like that, and that's what I'm advocating for.
So the governor might not have the power to directly get rid of the courses, but all she has to do is pick up the phone and offer these threats. That's indirectly getting rid of the courses.
That's true, and I think she should get rid of the chancellor.
All right. Jeff, thanks so much. Best of luck. His latest article is the top city college honchos okayed anti-Semitic under-college course. Now heads must roll. Even the governor brought that up. Are you happy that Cuomo is going to run for mayor?
The last question is always so tough, Brian. I have very mixed feelings towards Cuomo. I'm still processing this. Okay.
I don't think he should be running for mayor. I don't think you get kicked out as governor and then run for mayor as a consolation prize.
I tend to agree. There you
go. Thanks so much, Jeff Lax. Great job.
Thank you.
All right, back in a moment.